Hey YouTube, this is TCA Gaming. So today we're going to take a look at the Ishihara GX promo that popped up on eBay almost out of the blue, and there's a lot of people wondering what this card is, where it came from, should I bid on it, what are the possibilities that could come of this card. So let's just take a look at it. So if we look at the eBay listing, right off the bat, we see that it's graded by PSA, so that should give it some amount of rep right there, because we know that PSA is a very reputable company when it comes to grading Pokemon cards. And when it comes to grading stuff that you can't find on the internet, normally PSA will say, no way, I'm not going to grade it. So the fact that they've graded it means they more than likely have done a lot of research into the card itself. They probably have some kind of connection into the Pokemon International with someone that works there. Otherwise, I don't see any way that they would have graded it. Now let's look at the seller. So we have collector's cash over here. I think I caught something on E4 where SM Pratt had said something, basically saying that they were a great seller. I don't know what that means. That maybe they removed some kind of thread where they were being bashed, but I'll tell you right off the bat, personally, from me, collector's cash is always done right by me. They sold me that first edition base set booster box that I bought and that many of you have seen on YouTube, and they've done right there. Anytime I bought single cards off of them, they do really well in their condition for cards. So I mean, they are an A+ seller. I had the cell phone number of the main guy there, and I called him about this card just to see if I could get a little more information on it. But he's a stand-up guy, and they've always done right by me. So we have a good seller and we have a reputable grading company behind it. So that's already two good signs right off the bat for this card. Now, let's look at the title. You see up here, it says Ishihara GX and it says TCPi01. All right, so that could be a little odd. So let's open up the picture and look at it. So we see it has some dude on the front of it. Well, Ishihara, he's actually he's like the CEO of Pokemon, the Pokemon Company International. That's what TPCI is, and or the president. I think that's what he's the president, not the CEO. I'm not even sure what the difference is. It might be the same thing, but that's what he is. And this card was given out at a particular event, and we'll go into that here in a minute. But if you look at it, it's definitely a newer type card. We see TPCI #1, and we're thinking, if there's a 1, there has to be more. But we don't know that yet. I didn't even know this card existed. And if you look at it, it says the year 2017 is the year. I mean, it's 2019. I should have heard of this card by now. And if you go to eBay completed listings, there's nothing there. Here, we'll refresh it. I mean, there's nothing on eBay completed listing. If you go to PokemonPrice.com, put Ishihara GX in there. I mean, there's nothing. I mean, you go and search eBay, it doesn't even pull up this card all the time. I mean, it's like it's been a mystery. And it's been out for 2 years. I mean, I feel like I should have known about this card. And I'm sure Scott knew about it. And then there's people within the Pokemon community that knew about it. But it's definitely not well known. And I couldn't even find it on Bulbapedia or any information about it or even the set itself, TPCI. Because if you look at the bottom, it has a Black Star promo and it says TPCI #1. So there's probably going to be more, whether it's going to be like the face of Ken Sugimori or Rita or the president here in the United States, or who knows what's going to be, where this set could go. But we do know this is the very first one. It's #1. And if you look at it, it says 60 congratulations GX, 1060 damage. I mean, that's just ridiculous. I mean, kids would love it, but this is not going to be a kid's card, because we X out his picture. I mean, the bid, it's already up to $4,050. And you know what? I don't think it's going to stop there. In fact, I may even place a bid within this video, but I don't think my bid is going to win it. And here's the reason why. This card, it's a part of the Pokemon set, which means that there are a lot of collectors out there who have to have it for their collection. There are so many completists in the Pokemon community. I used to be one, but guess what? My pockets were not deep enough to do it. I know a lot of you think that I have a really high-end collection, but I'm telling you now, there are people out there who have a lot of money, and if they know that the card is really rare, they don't really care how much it is, and they're going to pay for it. So whether or not it fits into their niche or not is going to be the issue on how high this listing could potentially go. Because for me, I have limits on what I can buy. I'm buying and selling for a living for Pokemon. But there's people who make 6-7 figures easy in a year, and then they just use that extra money to buy Pokemon. So it's not their main deal. They're not trying to flip it. They're actually going to keep it. And then that brings me to another point. The reason that this card could potentially be really high, even though it may not even be that rare, is because of the way it was given out. So if you look at the attack again, it says 60 congratulations GX. So it says flip 60 coins for each head. Take a present. I mean, obviously the attack isn't something that would be used in a game, but if you saw the reiteration, it was 60 twice in there. So we go to the description. It says all items we sell are 100% authentic. Please see auction title for an item name and condition on a piece of Pokemon history. And then here is basically what we're looking for. Picture of the actual item. We were told that this is an employee-only card and was given out one per employee at Ishihara's 60th birthday party. Very limited. So what this is saying is that the only way you could get this card is if you were at Ishihara's 60th birthday party and he gave it out to you if you were an employee. How many of that were given out, we do not know. It could be 1, it could be 5, it could be 10, it could be 100. But how many, we really don't know. And the reason it probably hasn't come up before now, even though it was printed in 2017 and now it's 2019, is because not only do you have to be employed, but the employees that receive the card, they can't sell it while they're working at Nintendo. They can't sell it while they're working for Nintendo because that's just the rules that they have set. So either you have to be fired or you have to retire. So I mean, it could be years before any of these cards come out. And then on top of that, whoever has that card has to, 1, have to want to sell the card, and 2, have to know how to sell it. And from what I'm told, a lot of those employees were Japanese. And from listening to SM Pratt, I get a general take that the Japanese people, they do not like selling their stuff. They hold a nostalgic value to it and a sentimental value. It's kind of seen as a bad thing to do that. So we may not see many of these cards even come out, even if there are 100 of them out there. So for me, this really isn't my cup of tea, but because it's so rare and it's high end, it could be something that would turn into like a trophy card for the English Pokemon game. And I know that English collectors have really, really wanted to have these super rare exclusive promos, and we just don't get that. I mean, Japan does, but we don't. So I mean, this could be just a taste of what's to come. And then people seeing this, they may think, what, I got to get this now, because there may not be many more that come out, only 1 in 2 years. I mean, there's a lot of collectors out there, and that's the reason I think this, even though it's a GX card, it's over $4,000 right now. I mean, that's a real premium for an English Pokemon card. So let's take a look at it one more time. So you see his face on there. That is Ishihara. Overall, the artwork, to me, it's not very appealing, but there's a lot of people who like the idea of sticking someone who's iconic within the Pokemon, like actual real world, onto a card. I mean, if you stuck Ken Sugimori on there or Arita, I probably wouldn't even recognize them. But there's a lot of people who would, and a lot of people who would hold an even higher value for that artwork just because it has an actual person on there. Even though it does have the Rotom, and you also see the Master Ball on there. I guess he's the Ultra Beast Master Trainer Ishihara GX with 350 HP. And of course, his ability, Red Chanchenko, I don't even know what that means, prevent all effects of attacks, including damage, abilities, and trainer cards done to this Pokemon. So I mean, he just pretty much, you win. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to confidently put in a bid of $5,000 on this card and saying that I don't think I'm going to win it. I am almost 100% positive it is going to go for way more than $5,000, but we'll just have to see. I hope you guys watch with me. I've got a link for this card down in the description. Let me know your thoughts about it and whether or not you would want to have this card in your collection and why. Here's my bid. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. There it is. Right now I'm the high bidder, but I doubt I'll be the winner.